record this. Okay, so I am so excited tonight. One of my favorite people in the whole world, and I don't just say that lightly because when I looked for people to model my leadership style after, um, she is one of the people that I chose. She and I are both come from a corporate America background. She comes from banking. I come from finance, and we talked at one event. I don't know when it was, been years ago, and we just clicked. It was that, and that's why events are so important when you
Yeah.
network with people, because you find your people, you find your tribe, you find the
Yeah.
people that you want to emulate, and the ones that help. And we help each other. Even though she's a higher rank than me, we help each other. And that's one of the things I love, because I have something to offer, she has something to offer, and we can grow together. So
Yeah.
that's one of the things I love about
Sure.
Jana. I love her leadership style. She leads with love. She leads with passion. She leads with excitement. She leads with, you know, it, it's it's a no nonsense, but it's not. It's affirmative action, because things get done. She wants her team to succeed. It has nothing to do with her taking an iron whip and this is my business. It's not. It's about helping somebody else succeed. They told her what goal they wanted to get to, so she helps them get there, and that's what I love. I love so much about her, and I learned so much from her. And I was just like, I've got my team here. I've got new distributors on here, and we've got some old distributors on here. We've got some that have come back. We've got some that have fallen back, some that are doing fantastic. And I just want you just to speak some life into them. Tell a little bit about your story, because we've got some brand new people who do not know you. And I would love for you to tell how the business has changed your life. And then what can they do to get to make their dreams come true?
Well, that was a lot for me to live up to. So I'm going to tell y'all, set your expectations low, because she said I'm way, way, way high. And I'm going to warn y'all, I feel a little bit misty already. Just the opportunity to talk to anybody about Zingular, it overwhelms my heart. And there's several reasons that would overwhelm my heart right now, today, in this moment. And so a little bit about me. I am a 53-year-old grandmother of the perfect 4 grandchildren, referred to my conversation with Ann earlier. They are the best things since sliced bread. I am well and available for them. And I was not well and available for their parents. Okay. I napped a lot through their life, and I was in baking for 29 years. I actually left almost 5 years ago. I bought my kids 7 years ago, and I wanted no part of this business, y'all. So when people are not signing up, when they want the small one, when they don't want to share, when they don't want to post, when they don't want to be a distributor, that is me. Just put my name right beside and say, oh, I'm in a chat. I'm on a video with Jana Bullard right now, because they're acting just like her. Okay. So that's the good news. I was hard. And I'm going to tell you, one of the greatest lessons that you could ever learn. And I love what Melissa said about striking the whip. Y'all, I don't work for you. You don't work for me. Neither does anyone in my team or my upline. Thank you, Jesus. That gig doesn't pay as well. Okay. And it also doesn't give you the opportunity to truly impact a life. So, so you're going to have people that start now. You're going to have people that start later. You're going to have people that quit on you. You're going to have a whole lot of people that quit on you. And some of them will be your matron of honor from your wedding. So, I mean, I've seen it all. You can't do anything to scare me. You can't offend me. But I love that she said that earlier. And so I bought my kit, didn't want to be a distributor, so forth and so on. So I'm telling you, everything's about timing. And especially by the time, like, you got some prospects that you've had as long as like Melissa and I, they just get off when push comes to shove. There's no perfect verbiage. There's not the perfect board. There's not the perfect Zoom. It's when push comes to shove and they cannot stand looking in the mirror, laying in their bed, or the bill collector calling anymore, that they say, I remember Luann, she's still doing this. Teresa quit a long time ago. And I know we talked about it, but Teresa quit. So I remember Luann's still doing this. And so just know that that's normal. I say all that because I was so hard headed and now talk about consistency like a fiend. Okay. Long story short, got started, did not open my kit for 2 months, did not want to be added to any Facebook pages. And we only had product user pages. We didn't have like these testimony pages. We had none of the stuff that y'all have, none of it. We had some emails, some things were complicated, and get them on a 3-way call and do that like a beast outside of your 60-hour job, which is what I was doing. The only reason that I did that is because I didn't know how to operate Facebook. So when people started seeing my picture, they asked me what I was doing, and I didn't have the heart to tell them good luck. At that point, I was down like 30 pounds. And I thought it was just encouraging people, kind of like the testimony pages we have now, but it was a private party. Somebody said, Jana, will you share? Well, okay, whatever. Literally had no idea how to work Facebook, 400 to 600 Facebook friends. Okay. Did it all wrong. I was not consistent. I didn't use my tools. I hit manager and did not requalify the next month. I did not want to bug people. I knew it was around a holiday and they wouldn't want to spend money. And so I imposed a whole lot of beliefs onto a whole lot of people that have been able to do some great good once I got out of my own way. And so I say all that because I think people need to know that my early days were hard because I didn't lean into what I had. And if we'd had all the great stuff that we have now, Katie barred the door. I don't even know. But y'all, I was so obstinate that it probably wouldn't have made that big of a difference. I've never done network marketing. Y'all, I look really, really rough from the pool situation. Y'all just grace. But it's driving me crazy, that little hair hanging there. I had never done network marketing. I was in banking and I started for $625 a month. It took me probably 10 years to make $10,000 a year. And when I left after 29 years, I made $75,000 and was told my last bonus that I had earned leading a district to success and turning everything around. I didn't qualify because I didn't have the right title. I qualified to sleep away from my family, and you won't give me a lousy $2,000 bonus. So why would I be on a Zoom with people that can't make me any money at 6:40 on a Tuesday night when I could be in the pool? There's nothing like Singular. And I truly believe it's going to take all of us to change all the lives. There's a grandmother that needs to play with her grandkids. There's somebody that needs to pay off their staggering credit card debt, and they are charging today. The economy makes absolutely no difference. In good times and in bad times, we buy what we want, not what we need. And that's no different right now. No different right now. I bought things when I had not 2 nickels to rub together. You can always get a title loan. You can always transfer a credit card balance. Trust me, people will buy, whether it's right or wrong, if they see the want and the value in it. And so I say all that to say I had to change a lot of things. And I remember I literally knew nothing about how I was getting paid. I was just trying to help people, and these little pink checks came. And then I had somebody say, Jen, I'm going to have to get my products paid for. I didn't have the money when I bought it. What do I do? And I was in leadership. Like, what I did was lead teams. Y'all, I was trying so hard to not be a distributor because they're salesy and blah, blah, blah. I had no idea the magnitude of what I just signed up for. So I was wrong. And there's a lot of you that are probably thinking just like I used to. So that's why I always say that, because you see the stage, you see the life changing. Maybe you've seen my videos. You don't know how wrong I was when I first started off. And so, but I truly believe that God called me to do this, and he didn't call me to do this alone. So that's why I'm here at 640 to help this amazing lady. Y'all probably got the slickest, best, tightest process in the whole company. And you've got one of the best leaders, no matter rank. She is, I am singular for a reason. And if I thought that if I needed her to get on a plane, get on a bus, get on a boat, you can't get to Texas on a boat, she would be here. And so that's the power of singular. And so fast forward, I hit executive in about 11 months. And y'all, we had no clue what we were doing. We had no process. We were just excited and we were telling everybody. And if they want to join, join. If they didn't, that's fine. That's never going to change. Be excited. Tell everybody. If they want to join, they're going to join. And if they don't, there ain't a dang thing you can say about it. Push has to come to shove. It's called a buying cycle. The next year, I actually left my banking job. And that's been almost 5 years ago now. And I was scared to leave because I've been corporate America my whole life. It's all I'd ever known, even though if you refer to everything I said. And I wasn't staying because I needed the money. I was staying out of fear. Fear of the unknown. Fear of, I don't really know what this looks like. And Lori Ulrich, it's world famous for me telling her over and over and over on this cruise that we met each other on, that I was new and I would ask her questions and she threatened to kill me, throw me off a boat, like don't turn her in. It was, whatever. But y'all, I was new and we didn't have a good process. Now you can have the confidence of exactly how to build and exactly. But what I did have was work ethic, drive, and my word is good. So if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do something. So if I said I'm going to hit silver manager, guess what I did? I hit silver manager. If I said I'm going to hit gold manager the next month, guess what I did? I hit gold manager. If I said I'm going to hit director the next month or whatever, I did. And this is why. If I don't, it means they didn't lose 227 pounds, classmate of mine. They didn't pay off a credit card. They didn't have money for diapers. They didn't get to sleep like one of my best friends that couldn't sleep horribly. Like even when she asked about XR2, I was like, girl, you haven't slept in years. I don't know, but earned money back guarantee. I actually sold her stuff off my account because I thought, you're skinny and I don't know if this stuff would work for you. That's, and so I put that and I still put that no matter where my numbers are at, and they are low. Remember, we're some of all parts. Okay. So I'm not hitting a million in volume by a long shot. But today I did the work because how are they going to know if I don't? And momentum is real. And that's one of my biggest things, consistency and momentum. Consistency is they're not going to know if you're not consistent. Consistency is also becomes your habit. You don't do what you feel like or what you're good at. You only get good once you've been consistent. So you just have to do it afraid. And then momentum's real. And so if today on the 14th, I said, my goal is X and there's no way I can hit it based on what's going on. And I said, I think I'll wait. For me, what that means is if somebody asked me to play with their grandkids, I can't hit my goal. Maybe in July they can play with their grandkids. If somebody said my gas was $100 and $140 to be specific, and we have left a wildfire area for the second time, I'm so far behind. Maybe there'll be a good deal in July. So hopefully you can get gas later. That's truly, truly, truly my heart. And so I'm working today like I'm about to hit silver ambassador. And my grandson took them all 4 to corporate the other day. They all 4 want to be singular distributors. And Keaton says all the time, and he told Curtis Call right there, he's going to be the youngest ambassador. He is 14, the youngest ambassador. And he wants to hit ambassador by the time he's 22. My little bitty who's going to be 5 and going to go to preschool, he doesn't have a clue except for anytime he sees a key, he says, be the key. Unlock prisons. Casey Bear is 7, going into the 2nd grade. And he's a gold manager, and he tells everybody he's a gold manager. And my beautiful granddaughter, my only granddaughter, who has not ever said a lot about it, says very quietly, I'm going to do singular. What's it going to take for me to be successful with singular? Y'all, it's all they know. All they know is good people. All they know are people like Mark Walker that will carry them across the river because the water's cold. All they know are people that love them and lift them up. They don't know the people I used to work with at the bank that don't give a rat's ass about them. They don't know those people anymore. And so that's why I show up every day, no matter where it's at. And God is faithful, but I have to do the work. And so why would I be tender to talk about singular? And then I'll let you ask me questions. One, everything Melissa tells you, everything that we talk about, just seeing people's lives changed is humbling. It is absolutely overwhelming. And I can't stand the thought of somebody not knowing. I can't stand the thought. Last week, like I said, we went to Utah, took my whole family. We used to not go on vacation. We would take our grocery money, which would be it wasn't our grocery money. It was our week's pay, $500. And we go to my mother-in-law's because I knew we could spend that $500 on going to the Fort Worth Zoo or maybe buying some snacks because she was going to cook for us the whole time. And then we would just come back and we would make another $500. We basically grossed about $2,000 a month. At one point in time, we had $60,000 in credit card debt. At one point in time, they came to pick up my son's pickup, and I was in banking. But when cancer and life devastation hits, it doesn't matter. But I didn't have singular. And I remember telling one of my best friends that I just don't know how to do tomorrow again. But I will always do tomorrow because I'm a child of suicide. So I'll always do tomorrow no matter what. So it's been bad. I wish that I'd had this then. And I think there's somebody just like me. I think there's somebody that has not walked into their own. I think there's somebody that's afraid of their shadow. I think that there's somebody that's good, that doesn't know where to apply themselves. And they're working and being unseen and unvalidated and not paid according to their talents. I truly believe there are people just like me. So that's one reason that it just really, really tears me up. The other thing is my mother. So 2 years ago, my mother fell on June 8th, and she had about, outside of Medicare's payment, my mother, we grew up extremely poor. She grew up extremely poor, and she was living in public housing when I started this. Couldn't have more than one dog, couldn't let her dog outside, couldn't paint her walls. And she fell 2 years ago. And just her part, because, you know, they won't help you if you don't have insurance. Well, she had Medicare, but she needed extra money outside of that. Without Singular, I don't know what she would have done. And I was able to help pay all her bills, so she doesn't owe anything for those things. We had to remodel both of her bathrooms to make them handicap accessible, and her patio so that she could get out on it, which is her one joy. Y'all, I couldn't have done that without Singular. And so yesterday she was out here, and so she's always on my mind. And then the last thing, and I'm just so proud of this company. Y'all have seen the stand-up company this is. Y'all saw the Uvalde shooting in Texas. Children, my grandchildren's age, lost their lives. And we had 2 team members that dropped in the chat. Now, I have a pretty good sized chat with a lot of baby lines and some pretty good sized leaders that have some of their babies in there. And 2 people said, would y'all pray? My roommate's cousin lost her child in the shooting. My friend's child survived, but her best friend did not. Would y'all pray? And of course we did. Sincerely. But it just was heavy on my heart because I have grandkids. And I'm just thinking there's no amount of money that can replace a child, but they shouldn't want for college money for their other children. If they want to take 6 months off and more, like I could right now, then they should be able to. They can't, right? Because they don't have residual income. They work for a regular job. And so I put it out to my team and I said, we're going to send these two families money and we're going to send it directly to them so that Venmo, nothing takes a percentage. GoFundMe, nothing. And y'all, my team showed up for these people that they don't even know, because good people know good people, and Singular's full of good people. And if they're not good people, they don't last. They don't last because they're cutthroat and they're only here for themselves. They don't last because you got to be able to ride the stock market in network marketing. And it's going to go up and it's going to go down and it's going to go up and it's going to go back down. But in 20 years, you're going to be sad you weren't here, because we changed lives. And it may just be sending money to a stranger you'll never know because you're sad and you have grandchildren. I don't know. And it may be that you lose a lot of weight, and it may be that you're our next 7-figure owner. I don't know. But there's nothing like this company, and you could not run me off. So tomorrow, get up and walk through Singular like this is the company that you said yes to for whatever reason you said yes. And so that's why from the very beginning of this, Melissa, when you started talking, I was like, I'm too tender. I'm going to cry on your people. So long story, but I would answer anything y'all got.
Oh my God, I love you so much. And I feel the same. I feel the same. It's like, I asked a question, without we're doing the 60-day hard. And then when I did the regional event I trained there, I asked the question, what is it that, what part of Singular means the most to you? And I would say 95% of every answer was the community, the people, the relationships, the accountability partners, the ones that show up for you. And that's the truth. The products are fantastic, but you can do the products by yourself. And
I agree.
The business is fantastic, but the people thing, that's the most fantastic, and the people's lives that you can change. And that's that's the kind of thing that you can't there's nothing that no amount of money when you get a text that you have truly changed somebody's life. Yep. And you don't know.
And that's why you can go into the next thing. That's why you can go. Sorry, I interrupted you. I took you through. That's why you can go into the next thing. And so I'm going to say, assess your process with your passion. So lots of times people say, I'm doing all the things, but where are you inserting the passion? Is it somebody that's on the fence? Did you voice them and tell them how much you believe in them? Is it somebody that's afraid to make a post, or a customer that is not sure about making a referral? Had they heard from your heart in a voice message or a little quick video or a phone call, whatever, that says, but this is what I stand for. This is what I'm doing. And so in order for me to help other people, I need you, if you're willing to. I can make you verbiage all day long. It's pretty darn good verbiage, probably not as good as Melissa, but but when you put your passion in it, it makes a difference on the other end. When you put your passion in it, it also helps you marry the process and divorce the outcome. Nobody will sway me. And I've had some hard days. I've had executives that quit. I mean, you give me an example, I'll go, I got 5 of those. I mean, seriously, never batted an eye, not for 30 seconds, nor will I. And so I think that's important, Melissa.
I do. And if y'all don't know it, Jana's the one that keyed the term that we all use, that your story can be the key to unlock somebody else's prison. Because I think if you think about it, when you started, you were in a prison in your own self, and there's so many people out there looking for not just a product and not just a business income, but a tribe, somebody to lift them up and recognize them and appreciate them and love them and pray for them and celebrate them. All the things that Jana and I never got in corporate America. And as moms, most of us don't get. As women.
Women.
Yeah.
Women. Sorry.
Yeah. You just don't get that,
Mm-hmm.
And that's what, thing that keeps people. So she's open for questions and take advantage of this. Anything goes. I know her.
Yep, I really will. Ask me whatever. And thank you for your gracious comments.
I thought about you too, Martine, when you said that. So somebody better unmute and ask Ambassador Jana. I want to ask, what's the biggest one-day check that you've gotten?
The biggest one-day check, $9,000.
One day. God, dog.
But that was an exception. When we've had like one of those great big promos, I've gotten 4 to 5. My biggest was 9. My biggest month was 89,000. But my first, because of subscription, my first of the month, usually the first day of the month, I'm a platinum executive, 50,000 give or take. Now this month, was I? No, I'm in the same boat y'all are. I just trust the boat, So on the first, my average paycheck on the first day of the month is anywhere between 1,700 and 2,000. And my check on the 25th is always over $2,500 just for that one day. But y'all, I remember getting $2 checks and $10 checks and $17 checks. And, and I remember saying, I thought this would be $17 and it was $6, and somebody returned something. So there was a clawback. Like we needed those first few dollars more than we need the check that came today. So you have to remember that, because somebody else needs the first 100, the first $17 more than, I don't care what you see on social media. I don't care what you see at church with their outfit. And I don't care what you see in a car they drive. I'm going to call BS on the majority of it. And I've got a 29-year background plus a whole bunch of personal experience. They need money. Mm-hmm. And if they're making decent money like Melissa was, they are miserable. I've had 2 people offer in the last 48 hours an additional stream of income to me outside of network marketing. 2 people. So do not withhold the income opportunity, but do it with passion. I've never had a conversation since, how many of y'all were there when Tom Gillis, we were in Texas, and he told his story about to pass out on the stage? Last amusing anecdote. I could do this for 6 hours, no joke. I mean, we may get back in the pool while I do it, but I could do this for a long time. So I, at that point in time, would talk about the business. If somebody asked to be a distributor, I would talk about that. I resigned my job after that event. So this was 5 years ago. So I was less than 2 years in. I was a silver executive. Like, we ain't gonna sit here and pretend like I was gold manager. I was a silver executive and still super afraid of the business opportunity, because I had corporate mentality, which means I was trying to hire you to make me money. Y'all, that's corporate America. That's not what we're doing here. Anyway, so that event started with with Tom Gillis about to pass out on the stage, because I know I'm well-spoken on stage. Melissa's very well-spoken. He was going to pass out. I wasn't sure he wasn't going to drop dead. And I knew his story, but I didn't know the gravity of, he could have lost every single thing, everything in his life, mental, spiritual, financial, physical, everything, if Freddie hadn't reached out to him. And I was texting him crying. And then Amberly, the girl in the wheelchair, walk, ride, rodeo, she was our speaker. And she got up there, don't remember. I think she said, other than the funny story about dating and the guy, she fell going down in the wheelchair with the guy on one of her first dates. But she said, I was in a junior high and somebody said, if you could go back, would you change it? And once again, with tears, she said, not her, she wasn't crying. She said, no, it's who made me who I am. It's what made me who I am. And y'all, that's me. And I've had some bad in my life, but y'all wouldn't take it back. Not that I could, because it's made me who I am, but I was not until Singular. I was mimicking a corporate employee. I was mimicking somebody with confidence. I was mimicking little girl lost and just trying to not be that person until Singular. So truly, I believe that your story can unlock your prison yourself, right? Anyway, and then Russ ended it. And he sat down and he talked about having Parkinson's. And I got up and I left the room before Russ ever got on, bawling hysterically. Deborah Fletcher, Russ, the CEO's wife, followed me in the convention center. And I was like, God, I give up. I'm holding on and wearing myself out for a job I don't have to have because I'm so afraid of what this network marketing stuff is. I'm so afraid I'll be bad at it. Y'all, I was a silver executive. Do you understand that? So if you think, I don't know, you're doubting yourself, go back and rewind the whole thing, right? I know for a fact you're doubting yourself. I also know for a fact you're not walking in this. I also know for a fact you're not being as consistent with your passion because you're no different than me. No one is. Anyway, and so I would have laid down on the floor, but except for I was in the ladies' room in a convention center. So I stood standing and I said, I'm quitting my job. I'm going to quit my job on Monday. I'm fine. I'm going to quit my job. Never look back. Anyway, so all of those things really, really matter. And so Stephanie's saying, what's your favorite experience in the company? Oh, gosh. That was probably my favorite moment because it's when I just really got out of my own way. And I can remember it vividly. I can see them on the stage. I can see myself in the bathroom. So that has been one of my favorite moments. My favorite experiences, Rudy Ravak says, we're meant to do more than just go to work and pay bills. We're meant to live a life of adventure or experiences. And I'm going to say last week, because it was my whole family. It was my whole family. And we were all together. We had the best time and we saw fabulous things. And yes, because of Singular, it was all expense paid for them. It was absolutely. And that's nice. That's a luxury for the longevity and the work. But just those moments to see them and then to see them around corporate, shaking the hands of people that if they hadn't created this, none of us would have this. Not $100 a month, not the wellness, anything. And I think of all my trips, I've been on the Mediterranean, I've been to Bora Bora twice, I've done lots of things. Taking my family back to a place I fell in love with and just being and having the availability to say, Melissa, I love you, but I can't do your Zoom. I think that's my favorite. Kelly, what would you say to someone whose directs aren't working? What do you do? Keep going and get new ones. Oh my gosh. You are going to have, so this is my thing. Run with the runners, ramp them up faster, introduce them more. Walk with the walkers, which means there's going to be people that want to be seasonal distributors. They want to attend all the trainings and they want to come to everything, maybe even come to convention, but they just want to sign people up when they ask once in a blue moon. And that's okay. We need everybody to save them all. Don't pass judgment. Always ask, have I done what I need to do? Love them all. I believe treat people like they meant it until they prove you differently. When somebody says I'm miserable, I can hardly get up out of bed because I nap so heavily and my grandchildren mean so much to me. I'm going to treat you like you meant your grandchildren are important to you. I'm going to say, are you doing okay? I haven't heard from you in a couple of weeks. What's going on? You're ghosting me. Just talk to me. I'm going to do everything because you said your grandchildren are important to you until you prove to me that they're not, that cookies are more important. Donuts are more important. Not taking your supplements, getting your nails and hair done are more important than buying $100 worth of product. I'm going to treat you like you meant that. Same thing with the business. If you say, I've got to pay off my credit card, or I've got to be able to sell these products because, like my friend that's lost 225 pounds was with major liver damage, it's surgery and it's a bad future, or it's stay on product and lose a whole bunch of weight. So you're going to need to work this so you can stay on those products, right? I am going to treat you like you meant. You got to have a couple of $100 a month at least until you prove to me that you don't. And if you don't, y'all, there's nothing I can do about that. If your credit cards don't matter to you, if your family vacations don't matter to you, if your grandchildren do not matter to you, there's nothing that any leader, not Melissa, not me, not Calla, not Robin Packard, none of us can do anything. And so I lay my head down at night knowing that tomorrow somebody will want to change their life, and I'm going to run with the runners, walk with the walkers, love the rest of them. And yes, my skin's way thicker now than it was, but I still do carry a burden. For those who have struggled getting their first distributor, what's one piece of advice? Oh my gosh, connection. People are always guarding their own heart. If they're not buying product, they're afraid it's like everything else. I fail and I'm an emotional eater. Most people are emotional eaters. They're guarding their own heart. Don't take it personal. Be consistent. And that day that they slide down the wall, they go, I remember she still does this. Y'all, it's no different with the business. At the end of the day, I had all these reasons why I didn't want to be a distributor. At the end of the day, I was guarding my own heart. I am not a person that sets out to not be good at something. And so what if I wasn't good at it? What if I looked stupid? I already thought people that sold all that stuff and didn't have a real job were idiots. I mean, Lord, and now I'm going to do that myself. So I was guarding my own heart. People live in fear of judgment. Ain't none of them pay your bills. Okay. So get over your own damn self. Sorry for the language, but like, that's the biggest problem people have. And so you have to realize they're guarding their own heart. When you love bomb them and you see something in them and you build them up and you let other people like Melissa and other sister lines and like stories build them up, you help them break down their barriers and their walls that they've probably been building since they were 5 years old. And then remember, you can't win them all, if that makes sense. And I'll tell you, Cindy Clayton, she's a silver executive on my team on my 6th level. She did not have an enrollment for like 2 months. And her daughter had lost 50 pounds and she had lost whatever. She didn't have a distributor for 6 months. And then that ship was not going anywhere fast. She got more consistent and she just got more bold. She got more consistent and she got more bold. And the rest is history, right? So you just have to know, if somebody's not buying your product, you're normal. If somebody's not upgrading, you're normal. If somebody just quit after their quick start, you're normal. If somebody needed one more 4 weeks before their quick start, 4 days, you're normal. Americans are bred to not believe in themselves. That's what's so good about the singular. Okay, looking back, one more, and then y'all probably need to go. Looking back on all of your years with singular, what's one thing you would do differently if you could go back? Oh my gosh, Tammy, that's a horrible question. Okay, so y'all are really good. Like, I feel like she's like, y'all practice, like y'all came with a list. Okay. I am a believer, much like Amberly, that I wouldn't change anything because everything has led me to become who I am. Do I wish that I had told people about the business sooner because I was in banking? I knew better. Yes, I wish that. Do I wish that I'd gotten on board with duplication a little bit faster and not been so hard-headed? Yes. Do I wish that some of my favorite people, being friends and family, that I had been a little bit more direct with them instead of being tender, because I didn't want them to be mad and saying, y'all, girl, you're not working your business. You're going to be at the school forever. Do I wish that I'd done little things like that? In the back of my mind, yes. But if I could go back and wave a magic wand and change it, would I? No. Because if I lived the perfect business story and made all the perfect moves with hindsight now, y'all, you wouldn't be listening to me right now, because I would add no value, because it would be pie in the sky. I believe I was called for such a time as this, and that does mean my whole self, and it does mean all my mistakes and some of the things that I got right too. And I just have to trust that, and you're going to have to trust that too.
Thank you so much, Jana. I love you. I love you so much. Everything I can do for you, you know I'm here, but take her words. Don't have this time that you just spent the last 40 minutes be wasted, because if you listen but don't apply, you've just wasted your time. So take it, apply it, go do it, and run. This can be anything you want it to be. You've just got to decide you're worth it. And I'm telling you right now, I believe in every single one of you, and you are worth it. You're amazing. You are worthy. You are beautiful, and you can do hard things. I love y'all. Thanks,
right.
Jana.
Thanks for having me. Hey, I want to go sign somebody up. I'm so inspired about our company. I think, and y'all stop asking me such hard questions. Shame. Not really. Bye, y'all. I enjoyed it. Ciao.
Thanks, Jana. Bye-bye.